My name is Emily Frankel. I co-direct the Community Engagement and Outreach Corps for the Great Plains IDeA CTR. I'm going to start this morning by just giving a brief overview about the CTR and our Corps, and then we're going to get started right away with speakers this morning. So we're really excited to have you all here. Thank you so much for coming, and we hope that you enjoy today's Institute as much as we've enjoyed planning it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So the Great Plains IDeA CTR, CTR stands for Clinical and Translational Research. This is a partnership grant with 8 different partner institutes. They're listed here on the screen. There are different health and academic centers across our state. And this is an infrastructure building grant from the NIH. So the NIH has given us money to build infrastructure, resources, training opportunities for investigators to make them more competitive for larger grants that will ultimately impact the health of our state. All right, so the IDeA CTR has a few program goals with the overall goal to improve health of the state. So we do this through professional development opportunities, administering pilot awards. The Community Engagement and Outreach Corps is used to build partnerships and capacity to be able to do community engaged work. And really all of our programs are designed to integrate bench research all the way through translational research so that findings can get disseminated into the community faster. And we'll be talking about dissemination later today. So as I mentioned, there are 8 partner sites for the IDeA CTR. However, we have a lot of other partners, including COBRES and INBREs, which are another NIH funding grant. We also have our practice-based research network, which is these little blue dots across the state. So really, we are engaging partners, clinics, community members, so that everyone's voice is heard and that we're really making sure that we're addressing all the needs of the state, not just those here in Omaha. So like I mentioned, we have a few corps that are involved to execute the mission of our grant and that ultimately help to build infrastructure to achieve better health in our state. So those corps are listed here on the screen. You're here today because of the Community Engagement and Outreach Corps. We are the corps that puts on this institute, but we couldn't do the work that we do without help from the other corps, such as the pilots. Like I said, there's an RFA in your folder today that's conducted in support with the pilot program, professional development, biomedical informatics, biostatistics, epidemiology, and research design, and then our admin and tracking evaluation. So this grant is a very robust grant. It employs many individuals who help us to design programming and evaluation to make sure that we are moving the needle forward and really improving the health of the state. So the Community Engagement and Outreach Corps leadership are up here on the screen. This is who will be here today doing some of the talks today, and you probably received communication from some of us. So Dr. Kiana King, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Dr. Kiana King. She'll be here shortly. She is dropping children off at school right now, but she is our fearless leader and director. Then we have Dr. Regina Adewate. She is our co-director, and she'll be presenting here next. And then myself, Emily Frankel. So we are the 3 that make up the Community Engagement and Outreach Corps, and you, like I said, probably received lots of correspondence from the 3 of us. So our Corps has specific aims. They're up here on the screen. The main thing is that we're trying to build capacity to empower the community, to listen to the voices of the community, and make sure that the community is capable and empowered to do research, however you define research. And we do this through things like our institute. We have consultations if anyone has questions and needs some input, or collaborators, different things like that. We are always welcome to consultations. We do community engaged research through our RFA that we put out. So an RFA is just a funding announcement. So we have funding set aside to empower the community to ask their own research questions and help them go forward with their research. And then finally, dissemination. The last talk today will be about dissemination, how important it is to disseminate research findings or share results of your research findings to make sure that the community is aware. So if you have more questions or would like to join the Great Plains IDeA CTR, our website link is up here. All of this information is also in your folder. And with that, I would love to turn it over to Dr. Regina Idewate. She is going to start our presentation this morning with positionality. And before we get started, I just want to come around and collect people's evaluations. If you are complete with those, maybe just set them on the side of your table. We'll collect your evaluations. For those of you online, there is a link in the chat for evaluations. I will go ahead and copy that as well. These evaluations are really important and help us to plan next year's evaluation and program. So without further ado, Dr. Idewate, I will turn it over to you.
Oh, I'm on mute. Sorry.